So electric windows are really nice. It's a popular add-on. And these little square switches right here, they were pretty typical in Chevys for a long time. But wouldn't it be nice if we had a switch that matched our door handle and looked more original? Yes, it would. That's why we've got this for you. It's a switch that is for your windows, but it looks original. So all you're going to do is go up or down. So today, I'm going to show you how to put this in, wire it all up, get your electric windows working and looking good too. So stay tuned. So first thing we're going to want to do is just take off the front panel here. Now I'm doing this on a 47 to 53, 55 door, and but it's going to work on all of your doors, everything from 47 all the way up to 87 if you wanted to. And so this particular style, this unscrews right here. Others will have clips and miscellaneous things like that. When you take off your panel, go ahead and loosen up all your screws first. See if you've got anything that's going to be rusty and give you a problem. If you find one, take care of it first before you take out any other screws. Otherwise, you'll have the panel flopping around on you while you're trying to get that last one out. Also, what we're going to be doing is taking off the bottom screws first. And the reason for that is if you take your top ones off, it's going to fall down on you. But if you take off all your bottom ones, it'll just hang there while you can take off the top ones nice and easy like. Now, the back of the panel here, how this normally attaches, this little one, is it clips on. So you generally just have to push the clip in and then this will pop out. Now, once I have this off, it's easier to show you what the pigtail looks like right here. And what you're going to want to do is just get your door panel away a little bit and then get a plastic spatula like this and then gently separate it. You don't want to use a screwdriver or anything like that because it can damage the electrical connections right here. Not that we're using them, but you know. All right, now in this door here, I installed this electric window kit a long time ago and I cut this big hole right here. Now you probably aren't going to have that. You're probably just going to have the original hole. But if you've got something like this and you want to put the handle, the switch, in the exact same spot that it came originally so that you can use an original door panel, for instance, then all we've got to do is a couple little extra steps that aren't that big of a deal. All I'm going to do is just take some tape and put it right up over that hole. Then I'll put my door panel on, I'll screw it up, and then I'll mark exactly where the hole is, and then I'll know exactly where to put my switch. So again, you're probably not going to have to go through this trouble. You're probably going to have a hole right there where it originally was, and you're not going to have to do this. But if you are, then you're going to know how. So I'm just going to set this right up here. I'll get some screws in there, then I'll mark that hole. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Panel's on. All you got to do is, now we know exactly where it's going to go. So your switch is going to go inside the door. The only thing that's going to stick out is the shaft right here. And it's got three little holes that hold on the switch. In order to find out where those little holes are going to go, you're going to need to take this back out and do a little bit of thinking. So one of the main things you want to keep in mind is you have these electrical connections right here. And if you were to install this, the electrical connections going up, sideways, what have you. So you want to think about things like your window regulator. You might have door channels in there, miscellaneous things. This right here, you might be able to see on camera, this is on a little bit of a ridge. So you might have to contend with that because again, this switch, you can put it in any year or make you like. So it's very ambidextrous, if you will. So what I'm going to do to make sure that this is going to go in right, I'm going to map it out and I'm going to have all my electrical going down because if I go this way, it's too close to my window regulator. If I go up, there's too much stress on the wires when it pulls down and it might disconnect. If I go to the side right here, it's too close to my hinge pocket. So I'll be putting this on like this, and then all I'm going to be doing is just taking something to mark where the hole I need to drill. Now I'm not going to mark all 3 holes and put them in. I'm just going to mark one hole, just drill the one hole, and then I'll get a screw in there. After I get that one screw in there, then I'll go ahead and drill out another hole, screw it in, another hole and screw it in. This way I make sure I'm right. If I just put this up here and just try to mark all 3 holes, more than likely this is going to jostle around on me a little bit and I'm not going to have my holes in the right spot. So we're just going to do one at a time, make sure they're in the right place. All right, so what you'll notice me doing right now is I've got the screw on the inside of the door and I'm putting the switch on the outside where it does not belong. But the reason I'm doing that is so I can put my door panel on, double check that I have it in my right spot. If I do, I'll tighten it up a little bit. Then I can go ahead and mark the other holes, put in my screws. If I know it fits this way, I'll know it fits when it goes inside the door too. So we're ready to go in. Now I just have to do my electrical. The kit is going to come with this electric diagram right here. I'm going to give you a little bit more insight in that in just a second here. It comes with this wiring right here, and it comes with the little pigtails that are going to connect onto there. So I'm going to get this set up a little bit, and then I'll show you how to wire up your door. All right, so I've got this switch right here and this whole pigtail right here, and I need to know who's got power, who's got negative, who's up, and who's down. So how we're going to find that out is we go ahead and we attach our battery and we've got power going to it. Then I go ahead and I take my test light and I put it to the ground, and then I simply test each wire and I see who's got power or not. In this case, it is the orange wire that has power, so I get a little bit of tape and I mark it with power. Then I go ahead and I take my lead and I connect it to my power source, not the negative, but the power source this time, so it's opposite. Now I can go and I can test and I can see which of these wires is negative. In this case, it's the light green and this gray right here. So I went ahead and marked those negative. Now we want to know who's up and who's down. So I'll go ahead and attach the switch right here, and all I got to do is put my test light on it, and then I'll go ahead and connect this to the ground, and then I'll put this on the blue and I'll hit the switch. And okay, so that is down. Where's that up? Let's see. Now connect it to the brown. And so brown is down and blue is up in this particular case. So your wiring diagram might be slightly different, but you'll go through the same program to find out what it is. Now let's say, for instance, you had your up and down wrong. It's no big deal because these are going to have male and female plugs on them. If it starts going the wrong way, you just simply unplug it, switch those 2 wires over and plug it back in. I'll show you a little bit more about that later. So I've got all of this figured out. Now what I'm going to do is simply take this wiring diagram here, and I can see that my negatives right here, where they've got to plug in. I can see my positives right here, so I'll take this positive and I'll connect it to one and I'll put a jumper over to the other side. Then I'll have 2 wires coming out. One's going to be black, one's going to be blue. Those are the wires that are going to be going to the brown and the blue here. These are your up and down wires on your motor. So let me get this disconnected and set up a little bit here, and then we'll get on from there. All my wires are connected. I can test it now. We got down and we got up. So next what I'm going to do is I want to make sure how this is going to go in. Again, we're going to put our wires at the bottom. And what I like to do is have my handle pointed forward so it doesn't hit my knees. So this is how it's going to sit in there. We'll put our handle back on, and then what we do is just go up or we go down. So if you don't like the way this is working, all you got to do is take these outside wires and switch them, and then the switch will work the opposite way. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in, get our door panel on, get everything looking good. Stick around. All right, so before I put this in, I'd just like to get electrical tape and tape this up So this way you don't have to worry about any electrical connections grounding out, and you don't have to worry about the wires coming back out, because gravity, time, vibration from driving, etc., they are all working against you to have your wires fail. So a little tape is going to go a long way in this case. Now don't forget, when you put this in, the wire's kind of long and stuff, so you got to make sure that it's off to the side and away from your window regulator or anything else you might have in there that'll damage it. So just take a few minutes and think about those things, maybe some zip ties to make sure it stays off to the side, but make sure it doesn't go anywhere. All right, we are all done. We got down and we got up. Now you might notice this here goes up pretty slow. That's just because I don't have this connected to a battery. I just got this little charger thing on there, and it just doesn't have enough amps to make this thing work right. So it's not indicative of a power window or anything like that. But anyway, our switch is looking really cool. Now we look original, but we've got power windows. It's the perfect little combo between old school and new school on your truck. My name's David Welch. I'm here every single Tuesday doing this kind of stuff. So when you get it, it fits and it works. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because every single time you do, a mechanic finds a lost tool. Peace, baby.